Alright guys, what is up? Today I'm going to be looking over some of the most recent patch notes that have come out. So this is going to be, let me see, yeah, so today is January 31st, 2024, and we've got this recent update with patch notes that have come out, really going to be helping change up a little bit some of the meta. Right now we've seen different heroes like Lunox and Nolan just absolutely dominate within the jungle scene, and because of that, it's really caused a lot of imbalance, you know, like constant bans, different stuff like that, you know, your typical meta, like overpowered meta. So we're gonna see some differences within the respective meta because of these upcoming patch notes. As well as that, we have the long-awaited Attack on Titan event, which has been it's been promoted for a while now. We've seen a whole lot of different stuff really come out to really promote this, and because of that, I think it's something that's going to be huge. I think that, you know, if Moontown's goal is to make some money, I definitely think they're going to do that with this. So I'm really excited to see some of these different skins, now the official released skins for these heroes, and I know that they made a trailer for the event, so we're gonna watch that, and hopefully it's really cool. So without further ado, let's actually dive into the Attack on Titan stuff first, and then I'll go into the patch notes later. So kind of loud. All right. Let me see. Where's the video for it? Okay, so let's see this. So honestly, I thought it was a pretty cool video. Personally, you guys might hate me for this, but I've actually never seen Attack on Titan. So I don't really know much about the heroes, but based off of what we can see, I think that the Mikasa, you know, being that she uses the cables, is really cool. Good pick for Fanny. Levi, it looks like he's got the different splitting swords. I don't know if they did that for just the Martis. But I think it's pretty cool based off of what we can see there. Honestly, I think it looks pretty good. I'm not really too sure about the Yin, because I'm pretty sure I saw the Titan wearing shorts, and I'm really not sure that he's supposed to be wearing shorts. Yeah, so like I had said, you know, I've never seen Attack on Titan, and but I know some of the basic concepts. It was something that, as a anime, I felt like was super publicized, and like everybody was like, oh yeah, so because of that I never really got into watching it myself. But let's take a look at some of these official hero skin releases. So we'll start off with the Martis. Oh, okay, so it looks like they actually just took it straight out of the trailer. So the trailer was just all of their videos combined. But let's take a look at that. So you guys are probably seeing it in a lower graphic than I'm seeing it. Sorry, I'm not paying money for the higher quality videos yet. I failed you guys. Maybe when I start making a little bit more money from Moonton, I'll upgrade to get better, nicer videos, but I'm not trying to front a whole bunch of... So let's see if he's got any cool little secret effects. No. Honestly, I don't think the hero looks bad. It's cool. It's alright. It's whatever. Let's see the, let's take a little bit closer of a look at the yin. So these heroes look like super three-dimensional for some reason, which like isn't a bad thing, but I feel like if we look at, like, let's say the Eternal Guardian, right? So like this is an animated skin and it looks really good. It was produced very well, right? Yeah, look at how pretty that is. But it doesn't look over three-dimensional, whereas like with this, I feel like I can see the outlines of all of his like shirts and stuff. And that's cool if you like that stuff, but I feel like it's it makes it looks less natural. And then we've got the Fanny, I think the one that everybody's wanted. That's cool. That's cool. Honestly, I kind of felt like it's underwhelming, the whole thing. You know, like they're cool skins, but like they're not like the crispy skins that we normally see. Like if you compare those production values to let's say let's look at the Star Wars. Where is Argus? I don't think I own Argus. Yeah. So that skin should be, yeah, like this. Like, let's compare that quality to this quality. And so, like, that's just a really clean skin. Like, that's Darth Vader, right? But because of the colorings they used, like, if there is a little outline, we don't really see that, right? So let me look at the mage. I'll look at Cyclops's so yeah, like even with this one, you don't see that standalone border. And like the clothes look animated, but it looks good. Like this is a really good skin, all things included. It looks three-dimensional. It looks like Yoda. So I don't understand why they had to or why they felt the need to go like so heavy with the borders of like the jackets. Like when you look at my jacket, you don't see like a black outline. Like there's an outline, but like I'm not really sure like what they were hoping for from that. I just feel like as far as the quality of the skins goes, that maybe they just aren't matching up with some of the other. I know the Transformers were kind of a hit or miss as well. I think the most common one was the Roger one. So let's look at that. Whenever we're looking at some of these collabs, I think comparing them to the collector skins and stuff is a little bit weird. So like let's compare them to the different heroes. So like this, it's not bad. Does it look like it belongs? Not really. But like as a character, I don't think this looks terrible. Right? Or we can look at I think it's Alduus has one as well. Do I own Alduus? Aldous? I like Alduus. Sounds better. I don't. There we go. Starscream. I think this is one of the uglier Transformer skins. Personally. But it's still not, like, all things considered, it's not bad. Like, it's still a better quality than the standalone characters of the current we'll look at the Mikasa again. So again, I do think that the characters look good, but they look super artificial. Like I said, they're good looking characters, but the borders are just so heavy that it pops. Again, I mean, different people will have different preferences. I just think it's, I don't know, I feel like it takes away from it. Yeah. So we got premium supply events, 2 of them, from February 3rd to February 6th. So wait 3 days, I guess, if you want to recharge something. And then again, we'll be on the 17th to 20th. That's not bad. I mean, it's a little gapped out between the two, but I mean, it's not a huge deal. From the event shop, you can get any of those 3 heroes, and then they have a recall, which is honestly really lame. Like, that's not a nice recall. Sorry. That doesn't look good. But that's a cool spawn effect. That's honestly one of the better spawn effects, I think. And then the KO. I feel like that's pretty basic. This is a really cool killing notification if you're really into like Attack on Titan stuff. Yeah, I can see your comments. Alright, so Potato, all of my comments and everything is delayed, so the rate at which you're seeing my stuff isn't the same time that I'm seeing it. So your comments are coming about 60 seconds after I do something. So the Attack on Titan bubble is cool, like whatever. But honestly, like I think this is a cool border. I feel like the border itself is too thick around the sides. But I think like the whole like the burning houses and the head is pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah. Also, the delay exists because of some of the tournaments that I've recently done. They were pretty much mandated at least like a 60-second delay. So let me see these. Aaron quick chat, Mikasa quick chat, blah blah blah. Honestly, I really wish they had like some items that was like, was this it? No, I just looked at that. I kind of wish that they had, being that I'm not really too into any of these skins, I wish that they did have an option for like, you know, oh well, you can just spend this many instead and get like an elite or epic skin. That would be cool. But they're really trying to push it. Again, I don't think the skins look bad. I think out of everything that's come from it, my favorite thing is probably this. That's cool. Which it's not a big deal. I mean, for you guys' sake, I will still do the premium supply. All right, I'll still do the recharge events, but I'm probably not going to be spending my own diamonds on it. Hey, Playful. Hey, what's up? Playful and Potato. Yeah, so honestly, like I said, it's just not super my thing, this whole thing so far, but it's cool if you're into it. With that being said, let's start looking at let's look at this recharge gifts. The recharge gifts right now, if you recharge 50 diamonds, you'll get a free draw, which is good deal. And when you recharge 250, you'll get one. So you could recharge 250 and get 2 free draws, and that's cool. But I think everything after that might not be super worth it, because having to recharge an extra 500 for one isn't great, and then 1750 for another 2, again, not great. I mean, if you're going to spend the diamonds, if you were planning on doing it regardless, then cool, you'll get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 free draws for not being in the recharge event. But it's kind of funny because if you look at this will end the day before the actual recharge event happens. So honestly, if you're looking at recharging again and taking advantage of both, I would probably just do the 250 diamonds recharge, get your 2, and then wait and maybe put another 250 again. That's just me. That's just for us, people who are being mindful of what we're spending. So let's get straight into the patch notes then. So Aurora got completely revamped. Don't care about that. Let's look at the passive. Upon taking fatal damage, Aurora freezes, becoming invincible and gradually recovering HP. This skill will only take effect once in a period of time. So that's really cool. Honestly, that's a really OP effect that it's almost like the Melina's Blessing, except it's a standstill. And with that, her freeze effects can affect turrets. I think that's crazy. That's so overpowered. And I do think that this will absolutely bring Aurora, just with those 2 effects alone, it will bring her into the meta. I genuinely think that. The Hailstone Blast, Aurora summons an icy meteor to strike at the target location, dealing damage and slowing targets hit. After hailstones fall, dealing multiple instances of damage. That's cool. Aurora blows frosty breeze in the target direction, dealing damage to enemies hit, freezing them and creating a frozen area at the far end of the attack that deals extra damage to the enemies in the area. So if you really want to pretty much guarantee a freeze, you have to hit it in the backside of her skill set. That's cool. And then her ultimate creates a frigid glacier, creates a frost path in the target direction, dealing damage and slowing targets hit. The frost path gradually becomes glaciers that spread until reaching the maximum size and shatter, dealing damage to all enemies in the area and freezing targets. Every magic power that Aurora has will increase the freeze duration. Oh, that's cool. So if you're building you could build a little bit of penetration on her, but it seems like it would be more useful to build a little bit more magic power, because that's really cool. That's really cool. But hero adjustments: Sun got a buff, Paquito got a buff, Ixie got a buff, Nolan got nerfed again, Lunox got nerfed, Wan got nerfed, and then Hanabi and Arlet have been altered. Sun, they nerfed his first skill, so the portion of the attack effect inherited goes from 50 to 40%, but the second skill, the skill now counts as a basic attack and triggers the attack effect but cannot crit. So that might mean that we might be going away from crit building on Sun, if we're at least looking at that one. I do wish that they made it to where all of his basic attacks and everything, even from his clones, would proc the item skills. That would be really cool. But I don't know if we're gonna see that much out of it. Paquito, by changing the width of Paquito's skill 2 and ultimate to be identical to his skill 1, we hope that players will now land his skills more consistently with a better hit rate. So honestly, that might seem really minute, but if we look at the actual benefit of that, it makes it to where he's going to be able to team fight. He might be able to assassinate here and there still, but his team fights are going to be a lot more enhanced, right? So I think that's really cool. And I think that we might see a really annoying Paquito coming up. Ixia. We hope to keep Ixia's overall damage intact while improving her mobility. Cooldown for her skill 1 goes from 8 to 4 seconds to 4 seconds at all levels. That's going to make her really strong in the early game. And the base damage is going to scale. It's going to start off a lot weaker now, going from 175 down to just 75, but still scaling up to that 300. So end game strength will be the strong, but early game she's not going to hit too hard. She'll just be able to spam that one skill. Yeah, she's always banned now on Mythic, or yeah, I can't play her. Yeah, I believe that. Hey, MC. So for Nolan, we want to give other heroes more chances to counter Nolan's attack while improving his own lane clearing experience. Passive no longer slows enemies hit. That's fair. New effect restores extra energy upon hitting minions with rift activations. That's cool too, because that means we might see a little bit more clearing. And I think that honestly opens up his ability to possibly, be a laning hero. So we might be able to see like maybe a roaming, or I think a roaming Nolan might honestly be an option. Maybe not a great option, but an option nonetheless. And then what happened? Ultimate remove effect, so it no longer removes debuffs, and the cooldowns, but the cooldown of the ultimate is more spammable, going from 35 seconds to 25 seconds, now from 24 to 18 seconds, so it'll be a lot more spammable. But again, you'll have nice burst damage, but it's not going to have those remove effects. So Lunox has been dominating the jungle since the previous adjustment, so we're nerfing her a bit for balance. Besides, she's using her ultimate too often because of the cooldown reduction. Oh no, guys! Oh no! I think some of you guys might be in trouble. So first skill, her damage has gone from 2.5 to 5% extra damage to creeps to just 1.5 to 3, so just a little bit stronger now at its peak than it was starting before. Ultimate, her cooldown's going from a 25 to 15 seconds to 30 to 22 seconds. So now its final form is going to be just a little bit faster than its starting form before. Will that be enough? We'll see. Yeah, 1-1's always banned, but that's what we're getting into next. So 1-1 still has incredible agility. We tried to reduce her jump speed to balance it out, but it really affected her control experience. This time we will reduce her jump distance to weaken her ability to chase and kite with minimal impact on her control experience. So passive, slightly reduced jump distance, basic attack, damage, and attack effect ratio bumped down from 110% to just 100%. And it looks like, yeah, they just reduced her ability to chase and effectively get out of stuff. Huge fans from Mizoram. Cool. Cool. But yeah, so I don't think 1-1's really getting a nerf. She's just going to be slowed down a little bit because she is very, very invasive right now. And I agree, it might be a little bit much. I think this is a good way to balance her out. For carry, we noticed that carry was dealing a lot of damage even in a defensive build. A tanky high damage marksman limits the opponent's ability to counter, so we lowered the base damage on her passive, so she now has to have a more offensive build to get the same damage output. Passive, 6 to 8% of the target's max HP down to 5% plus 1% of extra physical attack of the target's max health points. That's pretty simple fix. We'll see if that's enough. Hanabi's performance shouldn't vary so much from rank to rank, so we lowered her laning ability in the early and mid game and increased her self-defense in the late game. So the bounce range is reduced from a 3.5, we'll call it meters, to 3 meters, and they removed the bounce damage on enemies hidden in the bush, which I think is a really good thing, because I think being able to just hit minions and be able to know people are in bushes is kind of crazy. I feel like if you're in the bush, you should be exempt from it. Otherwise, there's no point in the bush. Okay, so they also reduced her cooldown skill, or yeah, they reduced it from 14 to 12 to 15 to 10. So a little bit slower in the beginning, but 2 seconds, 20% faster to use in the late game. Arlott, increase Arlott's gain on attack equipment. So they bumped his health point regen from 5 to 10% total health points to 90 to 160%. So they just changed it from being reliant on his total health and made it to where it's more reliant on his physical attack. Yeah, so he just gets more out of items. I can't share my ID in here. Well, at least not with this open, not without dropping what I'm doing. Also, I'm not sure I'd want everybody who watches this video to be able to add me. That could get frustrating. She's gonna need boots now. Yeah, she might. Edith, heroes on the EXP lane wearing the War Axe and Brute Force breastplate have all grown in power, so we've decided to buff Edith's power in the late game to make her more viable. I feel like Edith still gets picked a lot, so I don't really know if that was necessary. Passive bonus damage, 4% magic damage based on max health points to 4 to 8% magic damage based on, so she's going to have a scaling bonus damage, so that's going to make her really strong. That might put her meta. Argus, heroes on the EXP lane wearing the War Axe and Brute Force breastplate have all grown in power, so we've decided to buff Argus's power in the early game. Oh no. Argus is already still debatably one of the strongest heroes pre-level 4 with his I don't know if you want to call it like a toxic poison damage, but that trickle damage, that in itself can almost one-hit kill you at level 1 and 2. So, that curse, that's kind of scary. I can't front about that. Basic attack, 100 to 111. Growth of each attack, okay, so it's going to go down a little bit from 4.25 to 3.5. And then the attack on the max level remains unchanged. Skill 2, new effect, now creeps can be cursed. So that's cool because that makes it to where you can try to bait them into using that on, let's say if you're getting pressed heavy by that Argus, you might be able to get it to land on the like the crab instead of you. Yeah, so I guess shout out MC Gaming. Not sure what kind of content you make, but I'll be sure to check you out after. Yeah, definitely interested to see. A lot of the different creators within the Mobile Legends community put out some cool content. Some of it different than others. A lot of the same, but we'll check them out and we'll see if they've got anything cool to offer. So, Minzathar has got buffed. Heroes on the EXP lane wearing it, blah, 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 blah. So they just decided to make him overall stronger. So it looks like a full buff on him. First damage is going from 175 to 300 plus 180 to 175. So he's just getting an extra 20% physical attack damage on his first damage skill. And then his second damage skill is also getting that 20%. Okay, so just a 20% across the board on that first skill. And then the damage of the second skill is bumping from a 300 to 450 plus 160% to a 30 to 500 plus a 180. So again, we're seeing about a 20% increase bonus on the extra physical attack, as well as a natural 50%, which isn't huge. That's like a 10% increase. So I think that's good for him. But Jawhead Jawhead, optimizing the control experience of Jawhead's ultimate, slightly increased the stun duration to make the ultimate +2 skill combos smoother. I'm not really sure to what extent that's going to exist. It really depends on the stun difference. I'm kind of upset that they didn't give us an idea of what that actually means. So I guess we'll have to find out the hard way. Battlefield adjustments. I'm only going to cover some of it. I'm just going to cover the items and what they changed. So because the super minions aren't much stronger than regular ones and their growth isn't clear over time, it can sometimes be hard to win despite clear advantages. Therefore, we've made adjustments to reduce protracted matches while ensuring the possibility of a comeback, adjusted the strength of super minions that spawn after the base turret is destroyed, and enhanced super minions that spawn after the Lord is slain. So they're saying that they just made the super minions, or enhanced minions, not super minions, enhanced minions stronger to make them more greatly impacting on the game. And then they also increased the base turret health by 6%. So I guess turrets are going to be a little bit harder to chew through. Oh, so MC Gaming they're going to be having a local tournament. Give me some information on that tournament and I'll talk about that later on, and I might be able to help you guys with that if you guys need. So they slightly reduced the range of the Molten Field and Lava Golem and adjusted their position, so now a single hero can't attack 2 creeps at the same time. So I think that's good, because what that's really going to do is that's going to make it harder for some of the tanky heroes to clear minions so fast, or clear creeps so fast. So I definitely think that's actually going to be really big in bringing assassin and heroes like Granger or Paquito back into the jungle. Hey Annie, what's up? So yeah, I definitely think that's going to make a pretty big difference, honestly. Reduce the range of Lord and Turtles, so now they can't be pulled into the middle of a team's jungle or river. I'm not really sure what that means. I'm not really sure what that means. Let me see. The advantaged team can now pull a neutral boss near the jungle, making it very risky for the other team to fight for the boss. However, we also want the disadvantaged team to have a chance at killing neutral bosses, so we've made the following adjustments. Yeah, I mean, that really didn't tell me much, so I guess we'll find out. Scavenger crabs were originally adjusted to improve the gameplay and confrontation between teams, but we found that the drop based on the crabs themselves was not very friendly to long-range heroes, and the value of the rewards was low, making it less appealing. We've adjusted the scavenger crabs to make the drops more rewarding and easier to pick up. The total value of scavenger crabs now increases over time, and reduced the number of scavenger crab drops from 3 to 2. The value of each drop increases, but the total value remains the same. After the Lord is spawned, scavenger crabs will no longer respawn. So you're not going to be able to get crabs anymore after that 8-minute mark. But before that 8-minute mark, those crabs are going to scale. So I think those will definitely be really good. If you guys haven't been focusing on getting those crabs early game, you definitely should be now. Cool. And I'm just going to cover these equipment items, and then I'm going to hop off of here, guys. So the Radiant Armor. The equipment is designed to counter heroes dealing sustained magic damage like Lilia and Alice, not multi-stage burst heroes like Amon and Gusion, so we're adjusting to passive. It's a passive accordingly. I think that's fair. I haven't really noticed the Radiant Armor making a huge difference against heroes like Gusion or Amon, but if somebody did, then cool, adjust it, because yeah, that's what Radiant Armor is. It's not Athena Shield. And then the unique passive, Holy Blessing. Taking magic damage grants 6 to 20 magic defense, scales with level for 3 seconds up to 6 stacks, and 1 stack only every 0.6 seconds. Okay, that's fair. I don't think that's going to make a huge difference. I just think it'll make it to where you can't use the Radiant Armor like Athena Shield. And then Glowing Wand is getting nerfed. The lower the price with the changes to Radiant Armor, the final magic damage increases the effect. The final magic damage increase effect has been removed to prevent heroes with multi-hit damage from dealing excessive magic damage. Unique passive Scorch has been the effect removed. Final magic damage increase. So they took away that. So even though they lowered it, I'm not really sure that Glowing Wand is going to be super viable anymore. So we might see a little bit more true like utility magic based items to replace that now, because up to this point Glowing Wand has pretty much been like a go-to for almost any type of magic damage dealer. Yeah. Let's see. So I guess last thing I'll cover, I know I said it last swing was going to be the last thing, but some of the upcoming events, skipping through. New Aspirants is going to start from the on March 4th to April 4th or April 3rd. Spring Romance is going to be available from February 9th to February 18th. Natalia's Grim Strangler will return for a limited time between February 18th to March 2nd. Guest coins will be removed soon, whatever. Surprise Box, the first draw using token will grant you an elite skin on March 2nd. And event rewards and adjustments starting on March of 2024. We will make some adjustments to rewards such as free skins in the following ways. Reward content upgrade, reward issuance will not be limited to a specific event. The free skin from the box may be available from the other events as well. And we announce the details of how and when the rewards will be available in the preview. That's cool. Yeah, none of this is super huge. If you guys want, you guys are welcome to look through it. I'll go a little bit slower through here. You guys can pause, look at it, whatever. But